Mr. Trump has got his campaign back on track and caught up with his Democratic rival after a series of controversies over the summer. But the odds are still staked against him as the campaign enters its final weeks, according to a leading research and analysis unit. But Joseph Lake, head of forecasting at the Economist Intelligence Unit (EIU), he has said there is a 2 in 3 chance that Mrs. Clinton will enter the White House. Mr. Lake said the Democratic former First Lady is expected to win the November election because her billionaire rival is even more unpopular than her. He said, "We have called it the unpopularity contest. These are two extremely unpopular candidates. They are much more unpopular than candidates in past elections." He argued that Mrs. Clinton will prove more successful than Mr. Trump's Republican rivals at attacking his mixed business record and controversial statements. The primetime TV debate later will be an opportunity for Mrs. Clinton to turn up the heat on Mr. Trump in person for the first time. Mr. Trump has caused controversy by calling for a huge wall on the border of Mexico and the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants in the U.S. Mr. Lake said, "Trump has done everything he can to alienate and offend a lot of minority voters. That will backfire on him in November. Nevertheless, Mr. Trump still has a good chance of entering the White House, especially if there is a terrorist attack or an economic downturn in the U.S." The Republican candidate immediately spoke out over the terrorist attack in Nice and has previously promised to bomb the hell out of ISIS. He also declared, "We better get very tough," in the wake of the New York bombing, which injured 29 people, on September 17. The issue of terrorism and security plays to his advantage. He ranks highly among voters on security, law and order. Mr. Lake said, "If there was a domestic terror attack by someone from abroad, voters would flock to him in that situation." He added, "If the U.S. economy does go through a large downturn, the voters will desert Clinton because the administration can be blamed for the state of the economy." On the flip side, the current stability of the economy under Democratic President Barack Obama is likely to help propel her to the White House. The electoral maths also favors Mrs. Clinton because she only needs to win 2 or 3 of the swing states, according to the EIU. It is estimated that Mr. Trump would have to win 7 of these swing states in order to get the 270 Electoral College votes needed to win. Mr. Lake said, "The reality is a lot of states will vote for the Republican or Democrat. 9 states are up for grabs that can really swing to Clinton or Trump." One of the key states to watch is Florida after George W. Bush's controversial victory in 2000 and Mr. Obama's win by less than 1% of the vote in 2012. Mr. Lake said that the Republican reality TV star was less organized on the ground and continued to rely on campaign tactics such as speaking on TV. He said, "Clinton is much more organized at this stage of the campaign. The campaign machine is really in full stride."